G'day guys, my name's Paul and I'm with Nosh Prepper. I've received a lot of requests about how a person can make ghee. And what ghee is the oil that you get from milk fat. So things like butter, once you separate that and heat it up, the milk solids in the water will sink to the bottom and then you'll have the milk fat that will float to the top, and that's what ghee is. So what I've done is I've just prepared a little bit of ghee and I'll walk you through the process on how I do it and a very, very easy way to get it done. So what we have here on the stove is we have a glass measuring jug that's on the stove here, and you can see that I have about 500 grams, 450 grams of butter up in this double boiler, and I have it on the stove here, and you can see that the oil has separated from the milk solids. So the bottom here are the milk solids. Now this has been here for a while. You'll have to leave it for probably 40 minutes, maybe an hour, to separate and be that clear. And what I've done is I have a glass jar in the oven here, sterilizing. Now what I've done is I've taken the rubber ring off, which is here, and I have the glass jar sterilizing it at about 80 degrees, around the same temperature that the ghee is. So what I'll do is I'll take this glass jar out of the oven, put it on the bench, and I'll just open it up, and then we can pour the ghee in. Now the reason why I do it this way is because I don't have to then ladle the ghee out. When it's in the measuring jug like this, I can just pour it straight from the jug straight into this sterilized jar. I'll move this around here so that you can see how it looks. So then we can just carefully pour it straight in. Oh, I'm dripping a little bit on the bench, but that's not too bad. We stop before we get to the milk solids. And there we go. And so we have a little bit left on the top, which we can separate out, and we can do that with the spoon. But here you can see that we have all the ghee there. And we'll just scrape a little bit of the floating stuff off the top. And when it cools, it just looks like the ghee that I have on the bench here. And that will store for 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, if you keep it sealed and keep it somewhere in the pantry nice and cool. Now the reason why this is important is because you get a lot of the omega fatty acids from the ghee that you don't get from other foods. The other thing too is that things like cream and these type of products are something that you're going to struggle to get if there is a shortage in grain and feed that they use for the cows. So it's really important that you start storing away things like this now, and you can see how easy it is to do this. It's extremely simple, and there's really no good reason not to do it. And ghee is absolutely fantastic for frying, making popcorn. You can use it as a replacement for butter as well in your baking, and it lasts a really, really long time. Now, if you buy the butter like what I've bought here, this is salted butter, and the salt will separate out into the milk solids at the bottom. So you don't have to worry about the ghee being salty. The salt will just separate out because the salt isn't soluble in oil. Some of these here, for example, this one here has added vitamin D. So it's got vitamin D put into this. Preferably you should get it without the added vitamin D. It's extremely expensive here in Norway, so just out of being practical, we buy it because this is just to get us through in tough times. So that's the reason why we use this one here. If you can get the natural one, it's even better. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's very short and sweet, but I recommend get into it, start making your ghee now. There's no reason not to. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and if you have any questions, ask us what type of other content you'd like us to create and what other questions that you have, and we'll answer them through these videos. All right guys, thanks for that. This is Paul, over and out.